I just want to start saying thank you very much, Joe, for making time for this interview.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you. You look splendid and shiny as usual, right?
Thank you, I think.
I was gonna say, okay, in this interview, we're just gonna be talking about you, about knowledge, about the relationship, about how we worked together, and you can share your experience. And
yeah, sure.
That's what we're gonna say. We'll ask you a couple of questions, but let's make this a little bit of a conversation more than sort of an interview, like an interrogatory or something like that. So
sure.
Let's just start with who is Joe and what does Joe do?
Interesting question. Thanks, David. Thanks for having me on your interview podcast system. Yeah. Thank you for the question. So my name's Joe Sahunta. Full name is Joginter Sahunta. I work as an action coach, and I joined the Action Coach family back in 2016. Went over to the motherland, Brad's motherland, Las Vegas, for our training, which was a lot of fun. And since then, I've been based in Northampton, in the UK, where I've got my offices in Moulton Park in Northampton. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Cool. And you help businesses to improve their organization. That's where your main focus.
Sorry, David. I've had businesses in the past too. So basically, I grew up in a family of businesses since from the age of about 13. My father had sort of clubs and cash and carries and all that sort of stuff. And then I bought my first business at the age of 27, some 32 years ago. And since then, I've had 7 businesses. Some I bought, some I started, and we've always sold them on. Never had to close the business down. So it's been an interesting journey.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. That's good intro right there. So allow me to ask you for you to describe your own words, your opinion, your perception of Noledge.CLOUD. What is Noledge.CLOUD as a marketing agency?
Okay, so I was actually introduced to Noledge.CLOUD via the UK Action Coach ML, Ian Christella, on one of the messages he put out on on WhatsApp. So that's when I reached out and we had a conversation. And my understanding since that conversation of Knowledge is that they're a great marketing company. I think you're a great ambassador for really putting people first, really caring about what you deliver. Right then, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that Knowledge offers various outreach campaigns for clients, but the only one I can talk about and the one that I've used is the cold calling outreach that you do for us.
Yes, correct. Yes. So we use a combination of different factors with a multi-channel approach. Cold calling is indeed one of those, but we also use our pre-sales telemarketing team as one of the steps of the outreaching activity, starting from a LinkedIn and an email follow-up approach. But yes, thank you. Very good indeed. Joe, how long have we been working together, Joe?
So we've just over 6 weeks.
Yes, and I mean it's not a long period of time, but how's it been your experience so far? And if you would like to share your results, our results.
Total transparency. I have used many marketing companies in the past. And so I was a little bit skeptical when we first started working together. Mm-hmm. But I think my 6 weeks in, I'm a total convert to you and Noledge.CLOUD. The experience, I think it was if I'm going to be totally honest, was a little bit frustrating at first. There's lots going on at Noledge.CLOUD. You've got so many ideas that how you want to bring this service and really add the value to the marketplace. And if you get half of those things done, I think you're going to have an amazing business. So there was some frustration there in terms of, just so much going on when all I really wanted to focus was on one aspect. So after a couple of conversations, we got on track with that, and I'm happy to share my results if you'd like, or what my experience has been.
I would love that. Yeah, Joe, please say that loud, a little bit louder than anything else.
Sure. Okay. So we at that stage, we committed to growing our business like most coaches are, and I wanted a partner that could really deliver. So I asked you for the lead generation via cold calling. You delivered 13 leads within the 6 weeks. I think with cold calling, you're going to get an array of prospects. I think the interesting thing that I'd like to point out here was, I think everybody telemarketers differently, and your style and etc. So when you listen to the recordings which you provided for every single call that you every single prospect, sorry, that you put forward onto the data sheet, there were some which I thought were absolutely going to convert. There were others I thought no chance, and I've got to say I couldn't call it. Genuinely, the people that signed, I probably would have put them in the bottom 30% in terms of going the distance in terms of turning into clients. But we've so far, from the 13 leads, we've signed one group coaching client. When I say group coaching, they're still paying at least 33% of your normal fortnightly coaching fees. And then the other client is a one-to-one client who's signed up for 12 months, including the alignment. We made no concessions whatsoever, so full fee for 12 months, including plus the alignment at full fortnightly fees. So that's a great result. So I want to thank you for that. And yeah, that's been fantastic. I think there's possibly a couple of other prospects in the still in the funnel from the 13 leads that could convert as well. So yeah, very pleased.
Joe, this is an amazing result, and thank you for sharing this. What would be interesting to understand is how did you manage, because this is a common effort. So is Noledge.CLOUD delivering you X, Y, and Z, and then you taking over and complete marketing, pre-sales, you take over the sales side of things. So your sales conversion rate there is pretty good. It's above average, surely. So would you like to share, maybe just 30, 60 seconds, whatever, take your time, share how you managed to get these people that you thought was bottom 30% to a level of, I would like to start with you.
There's a whole wealth of knowledge around conversions, and there's coaches much better than I am. But yeah, so I've learned from the best. I think you also shared some testimonials with Martin Alderson with me as well, and some of the nuggets that Martin shared was gold as well. So yeah, John asked. There's so many coaches that I learned from, but it's really understanding where they are, what the dissatisfaction is, what the vision for them looks like, and what that actually means for them in real terms, for what's the difference that it's going to make to their business, but more importantly, what's the difference that's going to make to them personally, and just making sure you verbalize that with them, so they're able to reflect and imagine that future that they've been working on, possibly ever since they started their business.
Beautiful. Did you speak with them over the phone?
I did.
Did you speak with them over an email?
Only to confirm the stuff that we spoke about. So I just used the email for confirmation.
Did you send them an SMS message or WhatsApp or something like that at some point?
I didn't send. Every coach coaches differently, and there's stuff that I do that works for me, and it might not work for other people, and vice versa. I didn't send out the questionnaire, etc., but I do have the touch points.
Questionnaire. It's SMS. No. A message.
No.
You remember you told me last week that you texted the person texted you back, and then it was on the weekend that you text them again.
That was that's the recent emails that you. So that's the recent ones you bought before our episode 6 weeks. So that was that's probably in the last week or so that lead came through. So this was the IT company he's got offices in Milton Keynes and Southampton, and he's between. Yes, so that has happened.
Okay.
But that's not part of my outreach. This was just this particular chap who had to reschedule.
Okay. My last question was: have you also met in person with the people that you signed or not? So was it just on Zoom?
I always meet with them in person. Or the COD call is obviously always the either phone call or Zoom, depending on their preference. But I always do the diag face to face where possible.
My point being is, you use 3 to 4 different channels to communicate with them. How many times have you touched as a touch point on them, sort of thing? How many times, if you have measured that there was a touch point, was it more than 5 before they, converted, more than 10?
Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit of guesswork because we're currently reviewing do we send out the business background questionnaire? Do we do the in between calls and the accountability call? We're not decided on the moment in terms of where we're going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the more touch points that you create, I'm a big believer in that now. The more touch points that you create, the better know, like, trust factor that you build into the process.
Mm-hmm.
So that I need to think about it becomes less of a possibility at Diag.
Yeah, and this is very interesting, and that is what I wanted to get to. And thank you for taking us there, because essentially a multitude of touch point and channels enables to that connection and trust to be built over a short or longer period of time. The more touch point, the more channel you use, the more chances are you have to reach out to a person, to connect to the person, and build a rapport, essentially. And that helps to take the prospect over the line. The objective of working together, the objective of Knowledge Cloud is, yes, delivering the short-term wins with those people through a cold calling activity, but also over time, through our team, building those conversations, connection, nurturing it by LinkedIn, by email, and other methods, so that when the pre-sales team have a call with them, there are already multiple touch points there. And when by the time they have a call with you, most of the job or a good portion of the job is kind of done. So this is what we're going to be doing together, and that really takes me to the next question, which is almost the final question, which is what is the future? What's the plan for you, Joe, for us? What do you envisage, and what do you think is going to happen?
Based on our current relationship and how we're working and how you listen and how you take stuff on board and vice versa, I think our relationship has grown over the last sort of 7 weeks or so. I firmly believe that Knowledge Cloud is a long-term future partner for my business as we continue to grow here in Northampton. Let's
keep on that. Let's keep the dream up. And what is it that you think, Joe? If I may conclude with this, what do you think that knowledge could improve? What do you think the knowledge could improve? What do you think you would like to see more or better?
Okay, so as a coach, when we ask the question, I think coaches don't sit on the fence. If you ask the question, you got to answer it with candor, okay? Because that's the only way you're going to get value. So if you ask me that question, I'll give you the truthful answer. I think you have a lot of ideas in your head, and they come from a good place. You want to add lots and lots of value to people, but I think it'd be useful for you to sort of master the ones that you're on. I think the cold calling aspect of it, some of the other stuff that you're doing now, you've got a really good handle. But there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of moving parts in your business structure. I would say sort of mastery is key. before you move on to the next one. Peter Vood, I don't know if you read Peter Vood's book, 6 Months to Six Figures. He's a big believer in that. He's not big on people who say that they read 6 books a week or whatever it is. He says let them focus on numbers. You focus on mastery. And I believe that.
Well, I love it. That was a good conclusion or ending sentence. Wisdom, that's good stuff. And thank you for the feedback. I take them on board indeed. I really do.
You're welcome.
Anything else you think you want to add or what you want to say before we wrap this up?
No, I think we're good. I'm looking forward to the next interview, sharing the next wins in, say, I don't know, back end of October, just before Christmas.
I love that. All right. Thank you, Joe. I'll see you next time. Ciao.
Yeah,
ciao.
thanks for everything you're doing, David. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.